Danny from Conscious Calisthenics here. So I want to do a little bit of an about me video, and today it's going to be why I do not smoke, drink or take certain recreational substances, which I'm not going to name what they are, but I think you can guess it from the title and what I've just explained then, because if I say the name, this video will be demonetized by YouTube, and that's not what I want to happen. So I will stick to calling them recreational substances. So yeah, it's very simple as to why I do not intake any of these things within my body. Yes, I used to in the past, many years ago, and I stopped smoking cigarettes back in 2013, and in that time I'd only had them a few times here and there, and always leading up until that point of me last actually having one, I was never someone that was actually addicted to cigarettes. There was times where I'd have a packet here and there or a cigarette here and there. But for me, I never understood why they were so addictive for people, because it doesn't give you some massive high. And I've always been this type of person that some people say is an extreme type of person, where I want the biggest high possible. At least in the past, I don't seek those things to get high anymore in any way, shape or form, because I just get high on life from leading the lifestyle that I get to lead every single day, which is my dream life and pursuing my purpose and passion. And to be honest, I never really liked the taste of them. So yeah, there was not anything for me personally to be drawn to them, to have some addiction. And yeah, even if I was addicted to them, where I'm at now in my life and where I've been for years, my number one priority is my health. Cigarettes are not health promoting whatsoever. They definitely take years off of your life. They cause sickness and disease, short term and long term. There's nothing to benefit from them whatsoever in a positive way. It's just all cons after cons after cons and no pros whatsoever. And it's just a waste of money. The amount of money people spend on those every single month or over years is just so much money, and that money could be going towards something such as supplementation, which I do on a regular basis, to actually give you the best health possible. But most people don't have self-love, and if they did, they wouldn't actually be doing smoking in the first place. So that is that for the smoking side of things. With drinking, when I was younger, around 14 years old was when I got into drinking. And I would say when I stopped drinking completely was early 2013. But within that time period, I'd almost had no alcohol, like literally a couple of sips here and there. And that was going on for about 3 years prior to that as well. So for me, in my whole life, there was times that I was drinking more so from 14 years old till about 19 years old, and I'm now just 31 today. It's actually my birthday. And yeah, I did enjoy alcohol way more than smoking, because I was a very unhappy person within myself, and I wasn't happy with my life, and I did suffer with depression a lot and other mental health disorders, and I really didn't know what I wanted in life. I was going the wrong places in life and hanging around with the wrong people and doing other various things that was just not bringing me fulfillment and satisfaction and happiness from within, and then from within. So then I could feel that externally every single day. So yeah, as most people that get into alcohol, I just wanted it to completely numb myself out from how I was feeling internally and just switch off. So I would just drink loads and loads when I would, and I just wouldn't be with it whatsoever. But as time went on, I just started to not enjoy alcohol that much, because again, it's not something that is really giving you this amazing high. It costs quite a bit of money, and then afterwards you feel absolutely awful when you've drunk a lot. And what I found is it was really bringing out really not good aspects within myself. So I behave in certain ways that I would have not have necessarily done when I was not on alcohol. And I just didn't like who it was making me be when consuming it. So that's it for the alcohol. And then I just remembered, actually, there's something that I didn't think about talking about until it just popped up in my mind. In relation to smoking, we were just talking about cigarettes, but I was a chronic user and abuser of Mary Jane. If you don't know what Mary Jane is, do your research up online. Again, if I actually said the name of it, YouTube will not like it and they'll demonetize my video. So yeah, out of all of those different things, the alcohol, the cigarettes, and Mary Jane was the one that I used the most. I used it a lot from 14 years old. And then there was a period in my early 20s where I wasn't using it that much, and then I started using it more. And then I just found I got to a point where I was abusing it so much, so frequently, and just consuming lots and lots and lots of it. And at the same time, I had certain things going on in my life where it just started to really affect me in a negative way, where I would get extreme anxiety and social anxiety. I would become paranoid. I'd have delusional thoughts, and I'd become like schizophrenic, and it was just really starting to have a negative effect on me. But prior to that, I used to really enjoy smoking it on a regular basis, but it really didn't make me as productive and as proactive as I possibly can. It just made me into this stereotypical couch potato that didn't want to do much and just wanted to munch on loads of foods and game loads and not really push myself to become the best version of myself and create the life that I more truly desired. So again, I was using that substance in many ways to numb myself down and dumb myself down in many ways. So yeah, after me starting to get all these negative effects consistently from about 2011 through till 2013, there was some times I had it here and there, but every time it would go wrong, but I still come back to it again and again and again because I had so many self-sabotage patterns and self-destructive patterns. And yeah, I was still not very happy. And I was just trying to destroy myself consciously and subconsciously, but more so even subconsciously. So again, I gave that up completely in 2013, and yeah, had it for a few different times in 2013, but in that year was the time that I had it the least in my life since I'd got into it from the age of 14 years old. And now on to the recreational substances. So I can't remember exactly when I got into them, but it was around my early 20s. And this was the last thing that I had given up. And yes, Mary Jane could come under this, but I'm talking about other different things that can expand your mind and make you see things and give you rushing sensations and very euphoric feelings and just give you very profound experiences, which some people would say were spiritually profound experiences. And I was really into the rave and party scene, so I'd take a lot of different things there that would just make me feel so high and so amazing, give me all those different effects or some of those effects that I just mentioned. And I would have to say, again, with this, it was a very positive experience that really helped me become the person that I am today, because it just opened up my mind. I used to be the most closed off, narrow-minded person ever. And they begin to make me go out into the world and start to create more of the life that I wanted. And it helped me become one of the better versions of myself, or one of the best versions of myself. So for me, these things, when they were very positive and beneficial for me for those reasons that I've just mentioned, they helped me get to where I am today. And then what started to happen, just like with the Mary Jane and other different things, I went on the extreme end and just started abusing them and not using them as what I would call a powerful shamanic tool that can help you grow and evolve at such an excelled positive rate, well, in positive ways. So yeah, due to my extreme nature, it started to go very south, and I just kept taking them on a very regular basis in very high doses, in the wrong places, with the wrong people, in the wrong states. And then I would have these really bad experiences happen, some of the most fearful experiences ever. And sometimes I would change them around and have some very spiritually profound, enlightening experience. But within about the last 2 years of consuming them, which I stopped about September 2014, I actually remember specifically when, pretty much all the experiences from that point and about 2 years before were just extremely scary and just like so bad. But yet, again, I was in self-destructive mode, and I just didn't have the type of wise mind that I have now, where I would just keep coming back and do it again and again and again and again and again and again, and these substances would tell me off in one way or another when I was having the experience go on that they would induce within me when consuming them. And then I had this really, really surreal experience happen. So in 2013 was when I started to change my whole life. I got out of a relationship that was no longer serving me in a positive way. I changed my job, my location, my friends. I started eating a healthy diet and started pursuing my life purpose and passion, which is making YouTube videos and helping people heal themselves and become a greater version of themselves. And when I made all these changes that I mentioned in my life, I'd always wanted to go to a psychedelic trance festival in Portugal known as Boom Festival. And due to my life changing massively, I was then in a situation where I could go. And it wasn't until August in 2014. So around November or December 2013, I booked that festival. Then I started really working on my health like absolute crazy. There's about 2 to 3 times that I took some recreational drugs, and it was actually positive experiences because I took lower amounts and just took them when I was in a good state around the right people. So I started to wise up a bit. But I still remember one time I took so much that I blacked out and then appeared somewhere on a bed in some house that I was at with 2 people either side of me, well, 2 girls. One was called Danny and the other one was called Danny, and my name's Danny. So it was a pretty surreal experience. And then I said to myself, no, I don't want to do these anymore. But I booked that festival and my brother was actually going to come with me, who was 18 at the time. So we went there, and it was a 2-week festival because they had the after festival that was done by Boom Festival known as Utopia. So we went there and I was taking substances in a very safe way, again this time, not going absolutely crazy and overboard. And I didn't necessarily have any negative experiences, but what I had found, once I had started to change my life and leading up to this festival, I really had completely changed as a person internally and externally in the way that I thought and just the way that I wanted my life and all these other different things. So I found from going to this festival that it started to revert me back to my old self. And when I say my old self, the way that I was thinking. It was wanting me to do certain things that I'd stopped doing in my life, and it scared the life out of me. It made me really realise how those substances that I'd taken for years and years and years really turned me into the person that I was in a negative way. Also in a positive way, like I mentioned earlier, which was really good, obviously the positive aspects, but I wasn't necessarily aware of all the negative aspects. So it really shone a light upon that, and it just made me so aware of that. So from that point forward, from that experience happening, I was like, no more. That's it. I don't want to go back to that person. So left that festival, never went back to them whatsoever, and that was in early 2014. So I haven't put any of those things that I've mentioned either from 2013 or 2014, and I wouldn't say that I would change any of them. All of the negative and positive experiences were all beneficial learning experiences for me to become aware of certain things that I needed to, so I could become the person that I am today. I'm not glorifying these things. I'm not necessarily saying you should go and take any of these different things whatsoever. If you feel naturally drawn to them, then go and do them. It's your own responsibility. But make sure you stay safe when you're doing any of these things that I've mentioned in this video. And yeah, one last question that some people are going to ask, or some people have in the past that know about this, that I've shared with you today in this video, with my past experiences with these certain different things. Would I ever go back to them? Alcohol, no. There's no way that I would. Sometimes I've had some fermented drinks and it gets a little bit of alcohol on my lips and I do not like the way it makes me feel. There's no reason for me to consume that. Cigarettes, no. Like I said, my health is #1 priority, and both of those are not health promoting. Certain recreational substances, yes, I would. But what I would say is I would pretty much only stick to the natural ones that are provided for us by nature. And if I was to use them in the future, I would be making sure that I'm in the right state to take them. I take a safe amount that I know that is the right amount for me. I would only do it if it felt that it was the right time for me to do them, and I would only take them as well around the right people, the right location at the right time, and only for me to consume whatever it would be that nature had provided me with to expand my mind, for me to gain some deep insights within myself, and to overcome certain traumas if I wanted to, change certain self-limiting negative beliefs and behaviors, and yes, just use it in that powerful shamanic tool way. And yeah, something such as these things are something that has played a huge part in human evolution. And I can definitely vouch for that from my own personal experience from them in the past, when I gained so many positive things from them, like I said, to become the person that I am today, and allow me to go in the direction that I have done. But I would never go back to taking certain synthetic substances, because yeah, they're just not good for you whatsoever. But certain natural mind expanding substances have been shown through so many different scientific studies since about the 1950s to be so amazing for helping people overcome things such as bipolar, depression, schizophrenia, severe traumas, PTSD, anxiety, paranoia, if used in the correct way, and in the ways that I've mentioned that I would if I was going to take them in the future. So yeah, that is it for me, talking about my own personal experience with these types of things. If you're someone that has any experience with these and you'd like to share your own experience with them, leave them down below. Or if you're someone that has stopped taking them, let us know why down below, because some people may want to hear your own personal story as to why you may have stopped taking some of these things that I've talked about in this video. So if you have any questions for me, and anything that I've talked about in this video, leave them down below. If you like the video, give us a thumbs up. If you don't, give us a thumbs down. And please share this video with anyone else that you think may want to hear about why I do not drink alcohol, smoke, or take certain recreational substances. And if you haven't already, click that subscribe button down below to receive a lot more videos from me, and the type of videos you expect to get from me are videos here and there on things about me personally, calisthenics workout and progression videos, intermittent fasting videos, 1 meal a day videos, what I eat in a day and do in a day videos, and many other different videos to teach you so much valuable information to help you go in the direction of gaining and maintaining the body desire, the fitness levels and the energy levels, and help you go in the direction of becoming the person that you truly want to be. And I hope that my videos will also inspire and motivate you to create more of what you desire rather than what you wouldn't desire, so you can live the best, most amazing human experience whilst you are still here. So as always, stay fit, stay energetic, and go and get those gains. Peace.